Welcome to another episode, everyone. Please subscribe to the channel if you have not done so. Pam Bondi gets obliterated once again. She is indeed on the hot seat, as is Kristi Noem, as is Donald Trump, as is this entire administration, who is clearly actively involved in a monumental cover-up of their abuse. She's confronted by Representative Joe Neguse, and she throws a temper tantrum when confronted with evidence that an individual that she hired onto the DOJ was responsible, at least partially, for the attacks on January 6th. Let's get into it with these sick individuals. We will continue to uncover what they continue to try to cover up, this here administration.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Here. Attorney General Bondi, 6 days ago, you posted online, quote, "If you come for law enforcement, the Trump administration will come for you," end quote. I want to show you just a brief video. It's about 30 seconds, and I'll ask you a couple questions about it.
You guys are disgusting, man. Hey, you guys are disgusting. I'm former law enforcement. You're disgusting. You are the Nazi. You are the Gestapo. You can't see it because you're chasing your pension, right? Your pension, your retirement, right? That's what runs your life, your retirement.
The sad thing is they're not even going to get their pension because it's going to be worthless.
And shame on you. Shame on you. Shame on you. Yeah. Fuck that. Yeah.
Attorney General Bondi, that man works for you now, right?
Who was that, Congressman?
The man in that video.
You know who he was. You know who he is. Who is that Congress? These people are sick, evasive. We all know the answer, right? Yes, she hired him, the individual that he just put on tape, or just showed the tape of. He put himself on video yelling, "Kill him," the police. This is the Department of Justice that he is now, he is hired onto the Department of Justice by Pam Bondi, the individual who was at the January 6th attacks yelling, "Kill the police."
The one who was in the police-worn body cam footage, the one allegedly yelling, "Kill him," at police officers on January 6th.
No, not allegedly. Not allegedly yelling, "Kill him." What is he talking about? We just heard it. This is factual.
His name is Jared Wise.
He does work for us.
He works for you at the
He does work for us. Oh, now you know who he's talking about. He does work for us. Wow. Now, you get a felony on your record, you can't get a job at McDonald's. This man has 2 felonies and 4 misdemeanors, as he's about to illustrate. One of the felonies being yelling, "Kill the police." Perhaps that was a misdemeanor. Whatever it was, he's yelling, kill him. In reference to the popo, to the police, that police the streets here in America. And he got hired at the DOJ, the Department of Justice, after having these felonies. Well, of course, president, you can be the president if you fit the bill and have 34 felonies. If you look like me, you can't get a job sweeping the floor if you have 1 felony.
Yes,
Department of
he
Justice.
does. He does.
This is an individual whom a federal grand jury indicted for 2 felonies and 4 misdemeanors related to his participation in the attack on January 6th. One of those charges was forcibly assaulting, resisting, opposing, impeding, intimidating, and interfering with police with the intent to commit another felony. This is who you choose as the chief law enforcement officer of the United States of America to hire at the Department of Justice someone on video yelling, "Kill him," at police officers? Right?
I believe he was pardoned by President Trump.
Oh, he was pardoned. You're right. You're right. Pardoned by President Trump.
Wow. I'll tell you what, man. The American people, you MAGA individuals are some real maggots, MAGA maggots. You have no backbone whatsoever if you triple Trump, and you are watching a mass cover-up and you are doing nothing about it. You all are a bunch of phonies. You MAGA maggots are a bunch of phonies. You're watching in real time this administration cover up murders and outrageous abuse against children. And you are doing nothing about it. You watch this lady come in here and make a mockery of the Congress. And you do not hold her feet to the fire or this administration's feet to the fire whatsoever. I've lost all respect for you MAGA maggots. The woman is confronted with evidence that this individual is a murderous individual, violent individual who wants to kill police officers. He was convicted of this, 2 felonies and 4 misdemeanors. When confronted with this, her response is, "I believe Trump pardoned him." How sick is that? What does that have to do with anything? He was still found guilty of it. He's guilty of this. He's on video. He still did this. Trump pardoned him because he's sick. That does not absolve him of the crime. He still committed this crime. Trump just pardoned him. He pardons all kinds of abusers. He's contemplating pardoning Ghislaine Maxwell. He has not ruled it out. He has pardoned scammers, people who've scammed the government and the American people out of millions upon millions of dollars. Trump has pardoned them. He's pardoned child abusers. So the fact that he pardoned him means nothing. We're witnessing the fact that this man committed this crime. It's on video. He was then subsequently found guilty of the crime. Partially, I'm sure, because it was on video. And your response to that when asked, why would you hire him onto the DOJ is, Trump pardoned him. A pardon does not absolve you of guilt. You're still guilty. He was found guilty in the court of law. He's still guilty of this. It doesn't matter who pardoned him and why. It doesn't mean that he didn't do it. We just saw on video that he did it. What are you talking about? They talk like evasive, totally disrespectful to the American people because they get away with it. These MAGA maggots are going to allow them to get away with it because they're sick too. They're abusers too. That's the only way that they will allow something like this is if they are too abusers. Believe that. You see a MAGA, you see an abuser.
For his offense, pardoned for yelling "kill him" at police officers. And yet you expect hardworking police officers across the country to believe that you take law enforcement seriously. You could imagine the reaction of so many folks across the country hearing the chief law enforcement officer of the United States refuse to even condemn what that individual whom you've now hired did. But in any event, let's talk a little bit about some of the other divisions within the Department of Justice and what's happened over the last year. You're familiar with the Public Integrity section of the DOJ's criminal division. I think it's referred to as PIN. Is that right?
Yes.
Okay. Do you know which presidential administration under which the PIN was first created?
I can tell you what administration that the weaponization was ended under.
I'll reclaim my time. This wasn't a trick question.
You don't get to
Madam Attorney
reclaim
General.
your time.
Madam Attorney General.
Because I don't like it.
Mr. Chairman, will you explain to the witness that he does reclaim his time?
Because I don't answer a question to your satisfaction?
Mr. Chairman.
Madam Attorney General, the time belongs to the gentleman from Colorado.
The president under which PIN was created was Gerald Ford. It was created after Watergate. I'm not asking a question, Madam Attorney General. The administration under which it was created was Gerald Ford. When you first started as the Attorney General of the United States, there were 35 people working in that office. There are now 2 people working in that office because you have gutted it. How many people work for the National Cryptocurrency Enforcement Team in the criminal division today?
Can I answer the question about PIN?
I've asked you a question. How many
You've
people
asked
work?
me a question, but you don't
How
want
many
the answer.
people
I'm
work
not
for the
gonna answer your
National
questions the way you
Cryptocurrency
want.
Enforcement Team? You won't answer how many
I'll
people?
answer PIN.
You.
PIN will not be
you know what?
weaponized.
You know what?
What's
Madam
funny
Attorney
about
General,
this?
I'll say to the chairman.
What's funny about this?
Chairman, you know what the answer is, and I think I
What's
understand
funny
why the
about
Attorney General
this?
does not want to answer the
What's
question.
funny is your lying ways, your evasiveness, your cover-ups, your sickness. You're sick. That's what's funny about this. That you're blatantly in the American people's face, in the American Congress's face, in the American government's face, covering up, hiring criminals onto the Department of Justice. Meanwhile, you individuals are coming with the crime bill to lock up individuals in my community for anything that they do wrong. But this individual is here yelling, kill him, killing cops, and you hire him onto the DOJ, as I alluded to aforementioned. You can't get a job at McDonald's if you have felonies on your record, particularly anything dealing with a police officer. Yet this individual is hired onto the DOJ. And she says, what's so funny about this? You understand he's not laughing. You understand that it's a wry, sarcastic smile that he had on his face, saying because he's outraged at the fact that you refuse to directly answer any question, as always, just like Christy Nome refuses to answer any question with any veracity. Sick of you people. You're sick. Now she wants to deflect and distract. What are you laughing about? Lady, no one wants to hear all that. Answer the question. What are you talking about?
Question, because you eliminated the National Cryptocurrency Enforcement Team last year. So I understand why you don't want to tell the American people who works there.
Yeah, I
no one
understand
works
why
there
you don't want to
anymore,
talk about
Madam
Mohammed
Attorney
Solomon
General.
in
So,
your district.
In any event,
who
I would
murdered people.
Mr. Chairman, will you stop the clock so his time is not wasted by
I've
the
been
witness?
very generous with allowing extra time when we have these little disputes.
I understand.
You got the time, Mr. Goose?
I might as well ask the chairman these questions.
I'd be happy
because
to
what
answer
is
some of your
fun-
questions.
What's profound, the questions I've
Profound?
asked,
The crime in
questions
your
I've
district.
asked, Mr. Chairman, are not trick questions. They're not gotcha questions. They're actually basic questions about how the Department of Justice functions and the unwillingness of this Attorney General to answer them in good faith. When a member of Congress asks how many people work at the National Cryptocurrency Enforcement Team and the Attorney General refuses to answer it, it is not a coincidence. It's because she eliminated the team. Why? Because her boss, the President of the United States, is making money hand over fist, $1.4 billion over the course of the last year through cryptocurrency holdings. I think what is happening at the Department of Justice is a disgrace, Mr. Chairman, and I would urge you to gain control of this hearing. With that, I yield back the balance of my time.
Yeah. I would ask the gentleman, does he agree with the standing up of the Deputy Attorney General for dealing with fraud? That's something that's happened in this administration. First time. You talked about PIN. That happened with this Justice Department.
We're talking about this committee.
Mr. Chairman, had you answered the question, had the Attorney General answered the question in that way, perhaps this hearing would have some modicum of resembling something that has typically been fairly conventional, an oversight hearing of the Department of Justice.
The gentleman's
That is
time
not
has expired. The gentlelady from Wyoming is recognized for 5 minutes.
I bet. There you have it. Sick individuals there. A sick cover-up. She refuses to answer any question. She wants to deflect, start talking about what's going on in his district. We're not asking you that. We're asking a simple question. And now we hear, as we already know, Donald Trump, hand over fist, $1.4 billion dollars as it relates to crypto. And so she gutted the oversight for crypto. She gutted. They no longer exist. This is a corrupt administration covering up scams, abuse, ICE agent murders, everything. These individuals are sick. You wonder why I call them sick. There you have it. Are you kidding me? You can't be serious. The man is on video yelling, "Kill him." And he's a part of the DOJ, a part of the trio, a part of two individuals there, not three, not even a trio, part of two individuals there. Where it's more than two, but it was 35. And they've all been gutted. The people who are overseeing the crypto are no longer there. They no longer have a job. They've been gutted. They've been ousted. And Donald Trump has $1.4 billion involved in this. These people are corrupt. And she won't answer the question right before your eyes, right before the committee's eyes. She's being evasive, just total disrespect for the Constitution, total disrespect for the administration, total disrespect for the American people, total disrespect for the government, for the Congress. Just blatantly in our faces, playing in our faces, blatantly in our faces, refuses to answer a simple question. Yet she is the Attorney General, head of the DOJ. How is this possible? How can she get away with this? She's been getting away with it because these MAGA maggots don't care. They're all sick. Here it is, a live cover-up. Again, she wants to throw a temper tantrum when she's confronted with receipts, evidence that she's hired people and fired people that she should not have fired and hired individuals that she should not have hired. And that she's covering up Trump's scheme, his $1.4 billion scheme with crypto. So much so that she fired the individuals who could have kept tabs on this, who were keeping tabs on it. And she, when confronted with all of this, she refuses to answer any question. I understand the man's frustration. It's frustrating to sit here in our faces and start talking about his district, and I'll answer the question about Penn. No, answer the question that he asked you to answer. Of course, it begs the question, why will she not answer that? And the answer is right before us. It's a simple one. Because she's culpable, she's complicit, and she's guilty. The American people know this. The MAGA maggots know this. They just refuse to do anything about it because they too are sick individuals. That's just the bottom line. You have to be sick in order to support this administration with all of its abuse and murder, and now starting wars unjustifiably, as always. You have to be sick right along with them. For the individuals who are not sick, stay safe and stay free, people. Let's fight this sick administration and continue to expose this intense, immense cover-up